Fox Business as we have Tesla. So from Mars down to, let's just say, Missouri, you are preparing to take on a cross-country trip in a Tesla Model S. Show us where you are right now in Hawthorne, California. And I guess I'm going to ask you, are you taking Route 66? What route are you taking? And will there be enough charging stations? Are you building out some right now?
We're building out a nationwide network of superchargers to enable fast, convenient charging anywhere in the country. So by the end of this year, we expect to have the north-south routes covered on the coasts, and also the cross-country route from LA to New York. And by the end of next year, you'll be able to go virtually anywhere in the country just using the Tesla Supercharger network, which is free to Model S customers.
Okay, I just saw a big line down the middle of the country where there didn't look to be a lot of superchargers on that map that we made. So, here's your shot. Talk to America, not just what people perceive. There's this perception that Teslas are really for Californians and New Yorkers, East Coast, West Coast. What about all Americans? Make that case.
Absolutely. Well, I think a lot of the premium manufacturers don't think that there's a significant market for premium cars in Middle America. I think there is, actually, and we take that market really seriously, and that's part of the reason why I want to do a cross-country trip and go through the middle of the country. It's sort of like a whistle-stop tour, meet people in, I'm probably going to stop in like 20 states and show them, an example of an American car that's designed. It's not just designed in America, it's actually manufactured here. And it's one that's received the Consumer Reports 99 out of 100 best score ever, highest safety rating ever, and try to convince people like, hey, they should take a chance on this car. It's I think it's been a while since American cars were an American car was considered the best in the world, and we're really happy at Tesla to have been given that rating by Consumer Reports and by Motor Trend and by others.
Right. Well, that's a great point to make.
I can show you how
our viewers are right there in the middle of the country. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Should I show you how easy it is to use the supercharger? It's really like plugging in a hair dryer or plugging in a toaster. It's super easy.
Go for it.
Okay.
And as you do that, you're plugging it in. I really want to ask you about the fact that that's all you do. You just plug it in and it starts to charge, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
It was 1 year ago, Elon, that you and I walked around that plant in Fremont, California, made in the USA, and we talked. I found this so funny, and a lot of our viewers, it resonated with them, because at the time, some 48% of your float was shorted. The shorts were circling around you. At the same time, our own Charles Payne, one of our real stock pickers here at Fox Business, was defending the stock. It was at $28 around some period of that time. And sure enough, those shorts got hurt. Now just 32% of the float shorted, but it's certainly come down. Will you prove the shorts wrong in the end? Because there's some who still say that, even your chief financial officer was saying it's a little complicated to look at how the finances are figured out here.
I think that's. I think we've got a really good story in the long term for Tesla. Obviously, I think our valuation right now is assuming a lot of good execution on our part in the future. We're going to do our best to work hard and make sure that investors are not disappointed. And I think we've got some very exciting products coming out. I think. In the past, I said, it's really crazy to short Tesla. Is it so crazy to short Tesla right now? I mean, it's not as crazy, but I still think it's probably not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea. Well, listen, it's because also we're looking not only at the Model S, and by the way, I have to ask you, will you exceed your sales targets by year end of the Model S?
Well, we always aspire to exceed our targets. We'll see if that's what happens, but I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll be able to do okay on that front.
What will be the timeline for the Model X SUV, which we also talked about last year?
Sure, the Model X we're hoping to bring that to market at the end of next year, and then achieve volume production in 2015. And the Model X will be, as you know, an SUV, kind of an SUV version of the Model S. So it's still a premium vehicle, and it's really our third generation car that'll be more of a mass market car. That's the point at which I think we'll be able to produce a long range car that is compelling and affordable, and that's really the main breakthrough that we've been trying to achieve from the beginning of Tesla. And you know, something that I think is maybe worth noting is that every dollar we make on selling a Model S, we pour that into R&D and into building out the factory and improving the technology towards producing an affordable, compelling mass market car. So, whereas if somebody were to buy, say, a BMW or a Porsche or something like that, the money that's say Porsche makes on that is not going into producing affordable mass market cars, but in our case it certainly is. So I think people who buy the Model S should feel good and secure in the knowledge that that's what we're going to do.
I know you're a busy guy. You've got to get back to your rocket launch preparations, but you've got the rocket, you've got Tesla, you've got the Hyperloop. Let's not forget that as we finish up. What do you say to investors and shareholders who are a little worried that you're stretched too thin?
Well, actually, that's why I explicitly said when I unveiled the Hyperloop design that I'm going to remain focused on Tesla and SpaceX. It's not because I don't think the Hyperloop is good, but I do have an obligation to do my best for Tesla and SpaceX. And if I take on yet another thing, it will be difficult to do so. So I'm hopeful that others will take up the Hyperloop project or something like it. Because I think it would be great to have something revolutionary on the mass transportation front.
Elon Musk, live from SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. Listen, good luck with the trip. Good luck with the rocket launch. Good luck with Solar City.
Thanks.
Good luck with Hyperloop. There's so much. Good luck, and thank you once again for being one of our originals at 3 Days in the Valley, Elon Musk. Thank you so much. David, over to you. What a